Welcome to this edition of the El Segundo City Council Recap. I'm your host, Egire De Leo. Let's take a look at the items presented to the El Segundo City Council at their October 18, 2022 meeting. During special presentations, City Council recognized Kite, a Gilead company, on the 5-year anniversary of the FDA approval to produce cell therapies to cure cancer. Kite is a global leader in cell therapy and has more than 800 employees at its El Segundo location. The council thanked Kite for their innovative research and life-saving treatment for patients battling cancer. Fire Chief Dina Lee recognized Fire Marshal Nicole Pesquera for graduating from the All-American Leadership Academy. Council congratulated Pesquera on this milestone accomplishment. City Manager Daryl George introduced the new Information Technology Service Director, Jose Calderon. Calderon's previous work experience includes serving as the IT Director for the City of Evanston, Illinois, and most recently as the Senior IT Manager for Raytheon Technologies right here in El Segundo. During public hearing, labor negotiator for the City of El Segundo, John Backett, from the firm ALLRR, presented facts on the bargaining impasses between the City of El Segundo and the El Segundo Firefighters Association, or FFA, over the potential impacts of the brownout of engine number 32. In November of 2021, City Council approved the temporary brownout of Fire Engine 32 to achieve budget reductions through staffing and operational efficiencies. Since then, the City and the FFA have met 11 times and have been unable to come to an agreement. A fact-finding hearing was held on this matter on September 7, 2022. The neutral fact finder found that the city could brown out engine number 32 pursuant to certain terms and conditions. You can view the fact-finding reports on the city's website in the Human Resource section. President of the El Segundo Firefighters Association, Jeff Gurney, presented on behalf of the FFA in opposition of browning out engine 32. City Council discussed the potential impacts of browning out engine 32 and confirmed with Chief Lee that there would be no change to total sworn fire department personnel and that engine 32 would remain in good working order and could be used if needed. The browning out of engine 32 will not affect paramedic and ambulance services. Council voted 5-0 to impose the city's last, best and final offer of browning out engine 32 for a trial period of 6 months. After public communications, City Manager Daryl George gave an update on the city's effort to address the ongoing odors and noxious gases coming from the Hyperion Water Reclamation Plant. The city manager noted that the city has received notifications of an increase in odors emitted from the plant and informed council that through the end of December 2022, Hyperion will be conducting maintenance, cleaning its headworks pipes on weekdays from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. and odor mitigation measures will be taken. Hyperion continues to work on implementing the 33 Ad Hoc Advisory Committee recommendations as well as updating community and public information protocols. 2 fence line monitoring stations have been installed and the third one will be completed by the end of December 2022. Hyperion is in the process of the routine renewal of their National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System permit, which is renewed every 5 years. As part of the permitting process, the public is allowed to submit written comments related to this permit to the Los Angeles Regional Water Quality Control Board through November 14, 2022. AQMD's preliminary review of the 24-hour VOC samples taken last month show the results to be normal and nothing out of the ordinary. AQMD also issued another notice of violation for public nuisance on Saturday, October 15th, totaling 26 notices of violation since July 2022. Mayor Boyles proposed gathering residents to go to LA City Council to make the case for the ongoing odor issues with Hyperion in the hopes of effecting change. The city attorney updated council that he is meeting with legislators to implement the same sort of air monitoring that Chevron does. The city manager announced that the city issued a stop work order to Hyperion for road work that is causing vibrations in the neighboring community. Information and updates about Hyperion can be found on the city's website at www.elsegundo.org/Hyperion. Mayor Boyles and Councilmember Nickel recused themselves while the city manager updated council on concerns raised regarding outdoor dining on Richmond Street. City Manager George reported that Richmond Street was closed after 3 restaurants applied for temporary outdoor dining permits, which was allowed as an emergency provision during the global pandemic. All restaurants in El Segundo could apply for an outdoor dining permit, no rent was required, and associated permit fees were waived. Richmond Street will be reopening to vehicular traffic in January of 2023. City Council then held a public hearing on a resolution amending the regulatory fee to recover city costs for excessive false alarm responses. The current regulatory fee allows the city to collect ESFD costs after 3 false alarms within a 12-month period. The amendment would allow ESFD to collect costs after the first 2 false alarms within a 12-month period. City Council unanimously adopted the resolution. During presentations, Public Works Director Elias Sassoon and Tom Moore with IBI Group presented modifications to the conceptual design of the Eurosari Swim Stadium, or the Plunge Project, which was initially presented to City Council in June of 2021. IBI Group recommended that the Plunge Project be modified to meet ADA requirements, as well as other changes that would increase the previous budget of $9.5 million to $11.6 million. City Council had an extensive discussion about the budget, operating and maintenance costs, staffing challenges, and questioned the necessity for all of the modifications to the design given how the community uses the pool. Ultimately, City Council asked IBI Group to come back to Council with a new design plan at a reduced budget in December 2022. City Council approved the receipt and filing of the unaudited fiscal year 2021-2022 year-end financial report presented by Chief Financial Officer Joseph Lilio and members of the City Finance Department. The report included how the general fund performed with regards to both revenues and expenditures, including various enterprise funds, internal service funds, debt fund, and the senior housing fund. Finally, Recreation Parks and Library Director Ali Mancini presented a resolution to City Council to extend the current license agreement with each El Segundo youth sports organization identified in the Youth Sports Council athletic field/facility use allocation policy for the remainder of the fiscal year 2022-2023, allowing each youth sports organization to continue using the fields and facilities while the use and allocation policy are reviewed and possibly revised. City Council approved the extension, and City staff is expected to return to City Council in May 2023 with a recommendation for fiscal year 2023-2024 after discussing fee increases with the various organizations. To watch the complete City Council meeting for October 18, 2022 and learn more about the agenda items covered, visit elsegundo.org or watch the meeting on Channel 3. The next City Council meeting will be on Tuesday, November 1st.